Hi, I'm Eugene Chan, and I'm absolutely thrilled to bring to you legendary singer and recording artist Francis Yip as our guest this evening. With a career spanning over 5 decades, which has evolved from the swinging 60s through the disco era and into contemporary music, Ms. Francis Yip has captivated audiences worldwide with her powerful voice and emotive performances. Known for her signature song Shanghai Beach, she has recorded over 100 albums and performed in more than 30 countries. Francis has also performed in musicals and feature films and collaborated with prestigious orchestras globally. Beyond her musical achievements, Francis is also a dedicated philanthropist, using her platform to support numerous charitable causes. Today, she joins us to discuss the uplifting power of music and how it can make a difference in challenging times. Welcome, Francis.
Hi, Eugene. Thank you for having me.
So, Francis, when people think of you, the first thing that comes to mind is your music, as I said earlier, Shanghai Beach or The Bund. We all know the opening line, and since you're here, can we have the privilege for you to sing for our viewers the first 2 lines?
Certainly. 浪奔浪流，萬里滔滔江水永不休。
Thank you, Francis. Thank you very much.
Cantonese on an English channel.
Right.
Very rare.
Right. So can you tell the viewers how you came into singing that song and how it made you sort of a household name, I can use that term, worldwide?
Well, I was very fortunate. I had been a singer already for about 10 years at that time, and TVB was making drama series. And they decided in 1980 they were going to do a story based in the Bund in Shanghai, which is in the 1920s, and it was a love triangle. And it was like a bit of an international trading area, a bit free for all, you know, no man's land. So it was a very exciting story. And then they filmed it like a film instead of the usual very slow pace in the studio with 3 cameras sort of thing. And the best part of all is they had Zhao Yunfa, Liu Liangwei and Jiu Ngaji, 3 very good actors in the series. And Joseph Koo was given 3 weeks to write the song and told I was going to sing it. So he did the song according to my range. So it suits my voice at the best advantage, I would say. And then the series, once it's played, took off phenomenally. Because the story was intriguing, good acting, good storyline, good pace, and the song at the beginning of the series, Every Night is Played, has a phenomenal, powerful intro. So it became very, very popular. We didn't anticipate it. We were all flabbergasted, actually.
Right, and also the lyrics were from our late James Wong as well.
That's right, yeah. James and Joseph, they're both my mentors. I met Joseph in 1969. Well, I was a TVB girl.
Right.
I took part in the Sharp Show, which was a singing contest, or a talent contest, I would say, in 1969. And he was head of the panel of judges, and he gave me full marks.
Right.
And then not long after that, he asked me to go and sing jingles. And then he introduced me to James. And that's how I came to become a recording artist, singing background music, singing a lot of jingles. James Wong, Joseph Koo and I are quite a phenomenal trio in those days.
Right.
Enjoy Yourself Tonight used to have commercial breaks of about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And there was one night I was actually on UIT and I watched one of these, and out of the 6 commercials, 4 of them were ours. Wow. It's quite phenomenal.
I'm sure the viewers, like myself, are sort of recollecting those scenes in front of our minds right now.
Well, some of the commercials we did were very, the recall was very like, 過馬路要小心, you know, the road safety. 阿姐捐血, 阿哥捐血, that's the Red Cross song. There were quite a lot of them were really still being used today, the road safety.
Just now you mentioned Joseph Koo and James Wong, 2 very sort of famous person in the music scene for Hong Kong that has contributed so much. Can you tell us more about as a mentor? I mean, you were a secretary with the HSBC at the particular time,
right.
And then you got the music contest, and then you go into the scene. how do they help you to develop a career? Or do you ever expect that we're still talking about music after 50 plus years?
Yes, I never expected it. Well, when I was working for the bank, singing was purely a pastime. Hong Kong people of my era do many things at once, right? I was working at a bank. I was an auxiliary police inspector.
Really?
And then I also did a lot of singing because I've been singing ever since I was a kid. Singing in school, singing at church.
Did anybody teach you singing?
No. I had a music teacher. I was hopeless in maths and hopeless in music theory, but everything I made up with practical because I can sing well. Mm-hmm. So I've always learned everything by ear. I have very good music memory. So when I became a jingle singer and went to the studio to work with Joseph, and Joseph would play the piano, the melody for me to learn, and I can learn it usually after twice. Mm-hmm. You know, he played it twice and I can sing it. And then with singing commercials, you learn to sing solos, harmonies, children's voices, adult voices, and I also did a lot of movie background music with them. So if it's a very sexy scene, you learn to sing very breathlessly.
Really?
But if it's something very happy and, you know, you sing a bossa nova or something and you go really light, you know. So I learned all my singing from them.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure the viewers are enjoying what you're sharing with them. See, I think you're one of a Hong Kong artists who had the opportunities or the privileges to travel around the world and you know different languages. How do you see Hong Kong singers at that time, at your era, compared to now? I mean, are we having less opportunities now?
Or? Oh, no. There are far more opportunities now, but to break out is harder because the competition is a lot fiercer now. Whereas in my young days, if you're a singer, you're a singer. Right. Very rarely would you get involved into a film or anything.
Right, I see.
You know, you might do a film a year. But then nowadays it's all different. As soon as you can launch yourself on the internet without a record company and you get a big following on YouTube, once you break out, then people will come to you and they want to manage you. And then you do movies, you become a spokesperson for products, you do concert tours, you know, even when you're not ready, you do it. So very different. For me, in those days, in 1969, I could not do a concert at Lee Theatre, which was the major concert venue.
We all remember
it was only for
Bay,
people like
yes.
Diana Ross, Paul Anka, Frank Sinatra, only those. I was the first one to have a concert there in 1974,
wow.
Purely because I moved to London and I recorded under the EMI label in London. So suddenly I was treated like a foreign artist.
Right. So what was your biggest challenges in your sort of career in the entertainment business? I'm sure you had your tough times as well. And how did you overcome it?
Well, in the beginning, it was challenging because I've never lived alone, and I went to live in London, and I became a recording artist with EMI, and I had to learn a lot. But it was a great learning experience because I learned how to sort of poise and how to handle a crowd, all of that, by working in theatre restaurants and also on the BBC. And also, in those days, my type of music is for Radio 2, which means that you don't play records. When you have a new record, you have to take the music with you physically and go to Manchester, Glasgow, and sing with the BBC orchestras with
Really?
your music. So you have to be very prepared and very professional. So that's where I learned my trade, really. Yeah.
Right, so you must be the very few Chinese a singer with a Chinese background who will be able to do that,
I think
isn't
the
it?
first one who went over there was Rebecca Pan.
Really?
I followed in her footsteps. But making a success in a foreign, well, in an international scene is very difficult. You have to have the right song. And they didn't really know what to do with me. They tried putting chopsticks in my hair, and which I resisted. I was 26 already, and I said, I want to sing. I don't want gimmicks, you know.
Right.
So I had a very good record producer, the man who discovered Shirley Bassey, Norman Newell. He was my producer. So my first album was a real good gem. But it's difficult to break out. So eventually, I gravitated back to Asia because I didn't like living in London. I didn't like the early sort of 3 o'clock darkness and the 10 o'clock sunlight, you know. So for me, I want sunshine. I want to be outdoors. I want to do, and in London, most of winter, you can't do anything like that.
Yeah. And then I'm sure the viewers may not know, Frances is a very keen golfer. So
yes.
that explains why she's always in such a nice tan colour. As a lady, or as a woman, have you encountered any difficulties throughout the years?
In the beginning, because I was such a novelty, a Chinese girl in the music scene in London, my agent, who was an absolute English gentleman, he provided me with, gimmickly, he called it a joke. It is a letter to say that I'm a lesbian.
Oh.
Right? So when I have to go and make an appearance at all of these cocktails for parties and what have you, if somebody sort of suggests they take me home, and at the door I would produce this letter. I used it once only, and it's a big laugh.
Right.
But after that, it was quite all right. People can sense the way you behave, how you respect yourself.
Yes.
And I'm a convent girl, so I'm rather old-fashioned as far as, you know, swinging 60s was concerned. I didn't swing at all.
Thank you. So let's take a break now, but viewers, stay tuned. We will be right back. Thank you for staying with us on Straight Talk. We have the iconic Frances Yip with us, and she has been sharing with us how music can make a difference in challenging times. So Frances, thank you for sharing a lot of the ins and outs. I'm sure the viewers will love it, to know the background of what has happened. You being, I can say you have a pivotal role in the Canton pop genre. How do you see the future of the Canton pop? Now, as you said, things are more challenging in the music scene, and the whole world has been doing better and better. Hong Kong was sort of doing extremely well by ourselves. How do you see the future of our singers?
I think the singers have a lot more opportunities now to actually become better, and there's a lot more technology that can help them as well. Whereas when I started recording, I was an absolute dinosaur. If I made a mistake, I had to go right back to the beginning and do it all. Now you could, you know, change a tiny bit of a beat. But challenging times being that there's more competition.
Right.
When somebody becomes noticed, what they should do is always try and improve themselves to develop their own style. Then they can sustain a career. Yeah. When I started, I copied Connie Francis. The recording company encouraged you to do that. But when I went to London, I was told, no, you have to be yourself. So I am who I am now.
Right. So how do you avoid burnout and also being sort of keeping energized?
Basically, you have to stay healthy. I have always been a very sporty person. So I always, in my younger days, I played squash, and then I've gravitated to golf. Now I do cycling, I swim, I do Pilates. I do something every day to stay fit. So mainly also is your mental attitude. In my lifetime, of course, you know, I'm 76 now, it's no absolute smooth sailing all the time. I've had breast cancer, I've had depression. So when those times are hard, exercise was a major key for my recovery.
Right.
Yeah.
Just now, the title of the show today is how does music sort of carry us through challenging times? And thank you for sharing your personal experience. You just mentioned you had cancer, which is definitely very stressful at that particular time, and also depression. How does music actually help you in those tough times?
It's very therapeutic. I've always had music in my life. Even now, when I'm not working, if I'm just a housewife, when I'm not working, when I cook, I sew, I iron, do whatever household chores, I'm humming or singing or listening. So for me, I remember after surgery, I was, I was full of questions, thinking, why me? Why did it? I'm always such a healthy person. I eat sensibly. I live well. I never abuse my body. I don't smoke. You know,
Right.
why would it happen to me? And to calm myself down, I listened to a lot of music, and then gradually looked it up on the internet, sort of what causes. Then I realized that for 25 years I've worked in venues that have smoking.
I
So
see.
I was a passive smoker. And then I realized that's why I got
That could be it too, yes.
that's why I got breast cancer. So what I must do then is to change my attitude, because you don't know when you're going to die, how you're going to die. So why worry about it? What you should do is to spend your energy on improving your health and staying healthy, and that way you can ward off the recurrences.
Right, when you're saying that you hum music or you sort of sing music, do you sing your own songs or someone else's songs?
No. I listen mostly to Teresa Tang if I want it in Chinese.
Right.
I listen to a lot of Diane Krall, a lot
Okay.
of smooth jazz stuff, even some instrumentals like foreplay and one of my favorites is Elton John features in there somewhere.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to something more related to Hong Kong, and thank you for sharing. It's wonderful listening to a legend. I mean, I'm so privileged to be able to listen directly from you, and I'm sure the viewers will feel the same. So you were a co-presenter at the British farewell ceremony in 1997, marking Hong Kong's transfer of sovereignty back to China. That must be a very proud moment for you. How did you feel for being part of such a significant historical event, and what impact of that has it on you as an artist?
To be honest, I was terrified.
Right.
Knowing the fact that it was beamed all over the world. It was produced by BBC. They came to Hong Kong several weeks before. We had about 3 weeks rehearsal. And of course, June 30th is a rainy day. It was meticulously planned on my part. I had a modified modern cheongsam. I wore beautiful shoes. I had several colors in my hair that matched the cheongsam. But of course, once it started to rain, we had to use an umbrella.
Right.
All the top light were gone. Nobody could see the color of my hair.
Right.
But what really made me feel it was an end of an era is the fact that lowering the flag, because I am a product of the colonial past.
Right.
I was born in Hong Kong, educated in Hong Kong. I also became popular and known because of the success of the export of Hong Kong music and Hong Kong everything, really. I promoted Hong Kong for about 17 years for the Hong Kong Tourist Association as a tourist destination. So if I hadn't been born in Hong Kong
Right.
and educated here, I wouldn't be here today.
Right.
So to see the flag coming down and the government accepting it and going away was very emotional for me.
Right.
And also the uncertainty of, I decided I wasn't going to leave.
Right.
And I would stay. And I had confidence that I would be happy here, and I was right. For many
Right.
years, I was happy.
Let me ask you
here.
directly. I mean, viewers, we never prepare any of these questions. 2024. Hong Kong have been through some tough times in the last few
yes.
years. Are you confident in the future?
I am very confident.
Are you going to stay here?
I am. I still have a home here, and I come back quite often, apart from during COVID. I was, stuck in Australia for 27 months, but as soon as I was able to, I came back. I believe in the resilience of the people in Hong Kong. Majority of the peace-loving, majority of the people of Hong Kong are peace-loving. They want to make a living. Yeah. I myself have not got a single political soul in my body because we were never taught that. I had to learn to vote when I became an Australian citizen.
Right.
I didn't know anything about voting.
Right.
So for me, to see the people of Hong Kong settling down into a peaceful existence, they will bloom again. I'm absolutely certain they will. And I'm doing everything I can to help make that spirit happen.
Right. Just now you mentioned you were our ambassador, for 17 years for the Hong Kong Tourism Board. Do you see a role in our celebrities in promoting Hong Kong? I mean,
yes.
And how should they do that?
We all do. When we get invited to go overseas to perform, we promote Hong Kong. Because many of the people who come, like San Francisco, whatever, many of them are originally from Hong Kong, and then they bring their friends to come and see, and then they come for a visit. It's quite natural. Yeah.
Yeah, just now you mentioned that you spent some time in Australia, and I'm sure, people all over the world have been sort of, if they watch international news, there have been some smears of Hong Kong, and also, the COVID, we had quite a long time of restrictions, and it doesn't give Hong Kong a very good name, which is a fact. How do you find those comments when you're back in Australia? Do you see people questioning you, or
Yes.
how do you present Hong Kong
It
to them?
became quite a frustration between me and my Australian friends, trying to explain to them that Western media had painted the wrong picture, and that people in Hong Kong are not like that. Gradually, they understand it now. Also, they appreciate the misinformation they've been given, because the truth will always win out in the end. So some of them are coming back, which I'm very pleased to see. Yeah.
Right.
But I do my best to clarify the situation whenever the occasion arises.
Right, thank you, Francis. You are celebrating 55 years as a recording artist this year. And to mark this special occasion, I know that you are releasing a special collection of music called the Francis Yip Golden Hits. Can you tell us a bit more?
Well, it's
I'm sure the bun is there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and there are, I think there are about 10 songs on it, and several new songs. I've been very fortunate that when I turned 68, I was approached to sign a recording contract with a Hong Kong label, and I thought, oh, that's impossible. I'm, elderly. But she said, no, you're iconic. We want to record you. So even during COVID, we had about a new song every 6 months or so. For that, I'm truly grateful. And they extended the contract, so I'm still under contract to them. It's Wow Music.
Right.
And so we're releasing this collection of songs that we did over the last 7 years.
Yep, and you also have a special concert coming up as well.
Yes, in August at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium.
Well, I'm sure. Yes.
It's called Gratitude, because I'm so thankful that throughout my career, I've met so many people who helped me along the way, educated me along the way, and they were so considerate and caring towards me.
Right, Francis, I'm going to ask you the last question. Looking at your incredible journey, how would you summarize the most significant lesson that you have learned, and what advice would you give to our aspiring young musicians?
Wow. Have you got half an hour? No, actually...
You've got 20 seconds.
I'm just very grateful that I've never planned anything deliberately in my career. Things happen to me, they come to me, opportunities come, and I grab them. And I work very hard to do the best I can. So for any young artist, that's my advice. If you see an opportunity coming, you should do the best you can.
Right.
And then sometimes you have to compromise, I think, a bit.
Right.
But not always.
Right. Thank you so much, Francis, for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. Your stories of resilience, the healing power of music, and your dedication to giving back to the community are truly inspiring. Viewers, music can certainly make a profound difference in challenging times, whether we are facing personal challenges or broader societal issues. Music can be a beacon of light and a source of strength. As U2 Bono said, music can change the world because it can change people. Have a good evening and see you next week.